Hello and welcome to my next tutorial. So in this tutorial we are going to have a look on a neat little pipeline that we can have between Maya, Mari and Houdini. So all the scripts that I'm showing, that I'm using here, they are included, so you can download them for free. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can install those scripts, how you can add them to your toolbars and execute them and all of those fancy stuff so that you can implement this workflow into yours as well. But I think it's just a bit easier when we first go through the whole steps to see what the stuff is doing, and at the end we're going to set it up. All right, so we start the asset here inside of Maya where we just have the geometry, and I like to have my hierarchy that way that I have a root group, and inside of the root group I have the asset group. So this could be beside the lens, there could be a second group, for example, for the camera, and inside of that then we have the geometry. And I also want to have materials assigned that are just for me a bit of a visual proxy that I can see, hey, how could this be when it's then shaded? I mean, of course it's not rendered, and of course it's not going to look the same, but here I get already a bit of an overview of the asset. Furthermore, I have a script that then applies the material name to my geometry name, and this will come in handy later when we are in our Lookdev scene. But for now we are just interested that we do have that here in our naming, that we later can take use of that. So this just works by selecting the top group, and then we just run the script, and then it just goes through and applies everywhere the material name here to the geometry name. So after that we want to have an asset that is ready for Mari, and there we can use the face sets here inside of Maya to create their selection groups that become very handy. For that I have a little script here as well, so we can press that guy, and this one now is already looking for this material tag name, and then we can hit preview if you want to, and then we can build the set. And now we can see here we have the face sets created per material. All right, so from here on I have here added to my shelf the command that we can export. So this is really just here cache, alembic cache, export selection as alembic. I have it here just as a button in my shelf. We can press that guy, and here it's very important that we check that we have UV write on and write face sets. So otherwise it's not going to write any UVs, and it's not going to write out here this face sets. So we can have that here on my desktop, just make sure they're checked on, and then we can export the selection. Yes, let's override. And for now, that's it here in Maya. So inside of Mari here, we can just create here a new project, and then here we can file path that to our alembic, and here we already see selection groups create from face groups. So we want to have this to create from face groups. When you import sometimes the geometry as a version, this is off per default. We want to have that on. Then under channels, I want to create them myself because I have a different naming convention. I also don't like that there's here a namespace here in the channel, and I like to work in ACES and then create project. Give it a second here to create the whole project. And then here it has loaded the geometry, and it has created for us here this default stuff. We can delete that. So first thing first, we want to create an Arnold material, or if you want to work with a different material, then you can absolutely do that. I like to work with the Arnold one because it just looks the best one. So then I have here in my shelf, I have this little script that is creating for me all the channel nodes. So let's get them here over, and then we can have a look. So here you can already see this is my naming convention, and from here then we can just hook here all of those channels up, and then we are good to go with that. Just go one by one through, but yeah, I think you get that. And now the next is we can execute here this script. So this script is actually asking us First of all, yeah, what material type we want to create. We work here with the Arnold one, so we want to create the Arnold one, and then we can press OK. And this is going to take a moment, and the more of those face sets you have, the longer it's going to take. It's just Mari not being the fastest, it's just the way how it is. So if you have a big asset with a lot of different materials, then yeah, maybe get yourself a tea or a coffee or whatever you drink, and then we're good to go. So as we see now here, we have got for each material, we have gotten a material node, we have got the multi-channel merge node, and we have got the paint node, and they're all named properly. So here we have the material, MTL, we have the mask, and then we are good to go. So one thing that I was not able to automate with the script is that it already fills this paint nodes here with the corresponding mask. That's just, yeah, the way how it is. Maybe you are able to do that. Oh, come on. We want to have them connected all. A bit funny why I wouldn't need to connect them all. So let's get them here. All right, there we go. And here now we can use the selection groups. And here the selection groups or selection groups. We can switch here to the selection tool in the toolbar, and then we can double click here on the first paint node, which is just a mask. We can select that guy, right click in the viewport, fill with white. Wait for Mari to do that. Select the next one, go through the list like that, and then fill all the masks. Again, I was not able to get this automated. Maybe you are, then feel free to extend the script to do that. I was not able, so yeah, I work with what I have. And here I already got quite a bit of a speed up with creating all those material nodes for me. And the only thing that is left for me to do is just fill here the masks. That's much better as before to do everything manually. So then here we are good to go. Of course, usually you would hook this up here to the channel nodes that are hooked up to the shader, but I'm going to spare you guys with that now. So here we also see we have a random color per material, which is then giving us a quick overview if everything is right. For example, hey, does this ring here have to be the exact same material like this one? We can quickly check here. So, yeah, it has to be the silver as well. So that's also why it's handy to have here this preview materials inside of Maya. And then, yeah, we're good to go that this here is correct. And we can start texturing inside of those material nodes. So now let's say we have done all of that. Now we want to make the Lookdev for that. So I like to work with USD, and for that we can also just export. So file, export selection. I have that here's a button as well. Here's my USD already that I exported previously. I have the subdivision method to cat Clark, so that is gets subdivided. The default prim is the root that we have here, and the rest is, yeah, pretty much default. Then we can export the selection, then we're good to go. So inside here of Solaris, you are already able to get this template without this node, where we just talk about in a second, where you can get this template for free. So I have made already a tutorial or a video about it that you can find on my YouTube channel as well, where you can get this whole template there for free. So here we import just our USD file, and then we have this node where, again, I'm going to share with you the code as well. At the end of the video, we're going to have a look how we can create this node. So from here, we can just here cast the spell, and then we can hook up here those nodes. And then we have inside of them here, we have gotten already for each material, Llama surface material, which is quite handy. So they are already created for us. They have made here random color as well. They are just basic Llama materials, and even cooler, they are assigned. So they're also assigned with wildcards, for example, if the path is going to change, or if you add more objects with this material name on it, it just goes and picks them up. So we can quickly test render that. And there we go, we can see all the materials are getting picked up. And from here on, we could go in and start populating here everything with our textures that we have exported from Mari, hooked it up into our Lookdev, and then we are good to go. So this is basically my tiny little pipeline I have created originally for me, which I think is just cool to share. You can use it as it is, or you can rework it a bit that it fits your needs. This is totally up to you. All right, now, so let's have a look how you can get this set up on your end as well. So I have here a little file that contains all of the different scripts for the different tools. You can download it for free. So the download link is in the video description. I think I will just upload it again on the CG Lounge website, where you can get this then for free downloaded. You can also find there, besides some other cool products, you can also find there the Lookdev template where you can download it for free as well. So we can start here with the Maya one, and here they're just simple text files. So we can open it. Here we can make Ctrl-A, Ctrl-C, and inside of Maya, you want to open the script editor. So on your end, maybe the script editor is somewhere else. You can open it here with the window or somewhere in the bottom. So yeah, you will find that. And then here we can just paste that. Then we can make Ctrl-A to select everything. And with middle mouse click and drag, we can drag it here to our shelf. Then from here, we can do right click, edit. Then here we can set the icon that I also include here in the file. So you can see here, there are the icons. And then you can also here change the tooltip. You can name it the way how you want, and then you have it. You can do that for both scripts. You can do that for more scripts if you have some, and then you have it here in the shelf to execute. So now inside of Mari, what we want to do is we want to create a new shelf. So let's open here the shelf tab, and then you can create here a shelf, call it the way how you want it. And from here you can make import, right click, import items, and then you can navigate to where you have stored your script. Here I have it just in the documents, and then you can select it and then open it, and then you have it like that. Then you can make right click and assign thumbnails, and then you have it there as well. So I'm going to delete this guy as well, again, because I have it here already. If you want to execute it, just double click and then you're good to go. So that's the easier part. But for Solaris, we have to do it slightly differently. So for Solaris, we can create a Python node. And then let's get here the Python node. And the first thing we want to do is we want to press here on the cog wheel, and then we edit parameter interface, and we want to add a button. So we can drag and drop this here over, then we get the button. So we can name the button as we want. Your ad could be here, and then we can hit apply. We see we have now the button here, and then we want to apply there this little, we don't need this one. So we want to apply there this little expression here. So the button call text, so Ctrl-A, Ctrl-C, callback script into that one here, we paste that. This is going to execute in the script we have in here when we press the button. If you want, you can further manage here the node layout. If you want to have something like me where we can hide this stuff, then you can just use here different folders, and then you can hide that, name it as you want. But yeah, for the tutorial purpose here, we just keep it as it is. So here we have the button, and then we can accept that. So here, of course, we want to have the script. So let's go in here, Ctrl-A, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-A, Ctrl-V. And that's basically it. So we can see if it works. We can put it here to our import, and then we can execute here the script, and voila, here we have it. And it works. So that's how it is. If you want to have this in your tab, you can do this one also. You can select this one, and you can drag and drop it here to your shelf. I'm not going to do that, otherwise I will have it double. So you can see here I have already some stuff in my shelf as well. And then you can just use tab to search for it. So then here we go. There you have it. Then it creates this node every time for you when you then add it to your node graph. So yeah, I hope those little scripts or this little pipeline and naming convention stuff that I came up with over the time of making projects is going to help you to reduce a bit the little repetitive tasks that we face in our day-to-day moments when we work on an asset, when we work on a personal project or whatsoever. Maybe you want to improve those scripts from here, or yeah, you want to change them that it fits your needs, then absolutely okay. Just going to share them for free with you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I wish you happy rendering and texturing and modeling and whatever you do. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.